Alright, so here we are at my giant tomato cages, which if you do measure them, they are in fact 7 feet tall. And you see these little tiny tomato plants, they will grow even through the top of this tomato cage and over the side. If you get a determinate tomato, it's going to grow maybe maximum 5 feet, and it's going to produce all of its fruit at once. Indeterminate varieties keep on growing until you stop watering them, you cut them off, the frost gets them, or disease gets them. And they produce tomatoes all season. They tend to be the most popular types that we see for sale in nurseries and stores around here. Well, we know that the vines get kind of wiggly and the fruit is heavy, so tomato plants tend to tip over. We don't want the leaves touching the ground because they can pick up pathogens and bugs from the soil. It also makes it harder to harvest tomatoes when they're not in a cage. So you can have an option like this, which my husband built for me out of 1x2s. Another option is to use a trellis. This one is about 8 feet tall, and I've got it propped up against my house, and there is a Sweet 100 tomato plant down here. This plant will grow to the top of the trellis. These kinds of tomato cages are the ones you most often see in stores. They're inexpensive, but they're pretty flimsy if you've ever tried to use one. You can make them work for you and make them sturdier. I double them up, and that helps make them more substantial. So I've got 2 sets here. So I'm going to take this one and put it on top upside down. And then I'm going to zip tie this together. And I'm going to do zip ties all the way around. But I still don't think that this is going to be sturdy enough. So I'm going to take a stake and run it through the outer ring. And I'm going to put at least 2 stakes on this to keep it sturdy. Okay, and if having these up here is just aesthetically unpleasing to you, you can put an upside down pot or a soup can. I found this at a thrift store, and there you go. So this is a Sungold tomato. I grow a lot of Sungold tomatoes. They are a yellow-orange cherry tomato, and I think the flavor is the best flavor of any tomato I've had in years. Tomatoes over the years. One year I grew cherry tomatoes in every color of the rainbow, from black to purple to white to oranges and reds. And what I have found on tomatoes over the years is some of those exotic colors are fun to grow, but they don't taste very good. Last year there was a blueberry cherry tomato that everybody had to have, including me, and it didn't taste very good. It was a beautiful tomato, but when you put it in a salad, it was just not delicious. It didn't have much flavor at all. So I think there's nothing worse than biting into a tomato that doesn't have any flavor at all. That's really, really disappointing.